So, what's my plan for my Dusk Till Dawn, right? Because right now, we could sit here, we could just open, 1,000 packs, have a good time, look for some cards, but what do we get out of that? No. So, I think what I have planned is I want to open it alongside a few other things. Starting with MTG. Now, initially, yeah, I bought it. I was going to open it against Lord of the Rings, but the fact that the One Ring has been found, no. I don't know. I might enjoy it down the road. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, to be honest. But, there's no chase in it for me, so we'll put that aside. But I do just want to give a shout out for any Australians, right, looking to buy some stuff. Card House. They have lovely sent me buy box, essentially. Right? So they sent me a few tucked away promos, Lord of the Rings, Shimon Horizons, no, stamped, 210, interesting. And I'm not sure what set this is from, right? What's the code? MAT. Yeah, I haven't kept up to date with Magic, but I always love, smaller stores sending us stuff. So what are we opening then, if we're not opening Lord of the Rings? Well, we're going to open Double Masters and Double Masters, right? In comparison, though, because this is the big thing, my math with current US prices, right? 42 packs for the Double Masters and 66 packs for the Double Masters. So, how to do this? How to count? Right, we do them in lots of, what is that, 6 packs versus 6. I'm going to count these out. This is going to take me a while. Okay, we'll start with the Double Masters, right? So that should be equivalent to 42 packs, right? Just under 2 boxes. So we have 32 here. Can I shuffle them? No? They're not liking each other. Let's do that. Right. So we will open these against the Double Masters. Do a box battle, right? What they're referred to. We will do some Dusk Till Dawn, and then we'll do the Double Masters. And I'll probably end up splitting this too, because I underestimated, right, the amount of packs needed. It's going to be 100 packs? We'll see. We'll see how the time works out. Okay, so what am I trying to do? What am I trying to prove or look at? Well, I want to essentially compare. We'll go, I only care about foils and above, right? So everything else should make it fairly quick. Double Masters. Interesting product, was it not? When it first came out, right? It was seemingly revolutionary, right? It was piggybacking off of the collectors, and, it was somewhat promising. Yeah, no one liked the price point, that's fair. But what it encapsulated, what it offered, was pretty cool, right? The land cards, the chance at the special cards, etc. It's a cool concept. And what back-to-back, yes, I should say I've randomized the packs, right? I just opened a bunch of boxes, so I don't have to sit here opening boxes when I do this. So we can get whatever we can get. It'll be real random. I don't know if I'll do prices. Anyway, back to topic. With Double Masters, okay, that style of product, would it work for Flesh and Blood? If it was done right. Because this is a big thing. Flesh and Blood has the opportunity to learn from every other game's mistakes, right? And essentially come out with products that will make people happy. Is that correct? I'm missing a few common foils, aren't I? Let me sift through while we talk. Okay, so they could look at the 4-pack collector boxes that everyone hates because of the price point. They can look at the Double Masters and they can come up with products that could potentially work really well with Flesh and Blood, and also shore up some of the gaps in their current market, right? Because again, the big thing that I continue to argue, people who use the secondary market, you are not directly supporting Legendary Studios. You're supporting the game, right? Don't get me wrong, I use the secondary market now and then, but that does not feed the wallets of Legendary Studios. That does not attribute to growth for Legendary Studios. So they need direct-to-consumer products, well, direct-to-distributor, direct-to LGSs, then to players. They need those types of products to actually hook people in and get the revenue coming back to them, right? Because after the initial release of a set, the majority of sets sit. Okay, they don't perform really well outside of the initial hype. We had a fantastic turnout at the pre-release weekends, right? It's the largest yet, and you know what? The next set, it'll probably be larger still. Okay, people love the release. But after the release, month in, 2 months in, the set just burns out. Okay, they need something. They need these smaller products in between to shore up their market, to continue to help them grow. Okay, if you don't think that is necessary, you got to remember they are a business. Okay, they produce a wonderful game, they balance a wonderful game, but they are a business, and to grow, they need to continue to expand their market. Okay, so this is where products like the Double Masters VIP box can come into play, because it can serve a purpose if it's done correctly. So what would a correct looking VIP box of Flesh and Blood sort of look like? Well, to me, I'm going to put the frontline plating too, because I don't have sets of them yet for my master set. Okay, so again, let's just start with the anecdote. What would the VIP edition look like for Flesh and Blood? Well, theme it around heroes. I've said this a few times, right? That we need, supplemental packs, not Dusk Till Dawn, but actual packs focused solely on X hero, and Double Masters would be perfect, right? You get X amount of core cards for your specific hero, and then you have the option to find X Majestic, Legendary, whatever they want to do with the rarity for the hero, okay? All they have to do to really get right and to one-up Magic, get the price point, right? Keep it in check with their current packs, their current boxes, and everyone's happy, okay? So how would you feel, right? Instead of Double Masters VIP, you could have Dorinthia VIP box. Nah, we'll call it something a bit better. You guys can get creative. Let me know what you think it should be called. But, right, they could advertise it as the next set is going to feature these 4 heroes, right? In addition, we're going to have 4 VIP boxes, again, working title, centered around these other 4 heroes, right? Just to give you a sort of update where they are, right? We'll stick to the lore standpoint, because that is a big drawing thing, okay? So, take Outsiders. Everyone featured in Outsiders, right? While Outsiders are going on, right, we're not so interested in FaB or Dromai or anyone from the Volcana? What's the correct word? We're not interested in any of them. We know what's happening, right? We come back to Souls, that's fine. But what about Rhino? What's Rhino up to during that period? Okay, wouldn't it be cool to find out, to have these little sets that sort of, explain through their cards what Ryan is up to during this time? He's not just sitting in an inn doing nothing, is he? So, it could be interesting to see. I'm also going to keep the Wartune Herald. Send it up. Same thing as the armor. I need more of them. And there's the fire. Right. Essentially cards to fill up my master set. What's got in this middle here. But the idea sort of works, does it not? For them to, again, expand the amount of heroes that are addressed in each cycle. Because our 3 to 4 does not work. It's not going to continue to work as things expand. And then, of course, we also have the interest point again, right? Not everyone is going to be interested in X set if it only features X heroes. So you can very easily target heroes with these types of products so that you can keep the vested interest of a larger portion of your playbase. Again, the biggest hurdle to me for Legendary Studios is no matter how much they grow, every product that comes out is not going to capitalize on the majority of that community, of that player base, because not every product is going to speak to all those players. It's a big issue that I foresee as we continue to expand, as we are treating this as more of a RPG than a typical card game where everyone is majority involved in standard, okay? Because there is no standard, right? We just have the heroes addressed each set. So having that style of product, a product that directly reinforces or captures the interest of X hero, could really work when paired with these types of sets, right? If we're getting supplemental sets that are no longer supplemental to the entirety of play, then that's even more rationale for these styles of products to, again, help smooth things out in between releases, right? We're getting, we're up to like 4 sets a year now, so 1 every quarter almost, and it's not really enough. Okay, between those, we tackle 12 heroes. If a new hero is introduced, we're still not hitting every single hero in the cycle. Okay, especially when we have theme sets back to back. Okay, we're not being able to target core heroes that some people would be interested in, and that's where these types of products could really benefit. Right? Again, not Double Masters, Dorinthia Check-In. I don't know. I'm not great with names. Right? We'll open this too. since we're about halfway, we've gotten some decent stuff. The Surgical Instruction's nice, right? It's still a $10-ish card. Oh, very tricky. And yeah, again, in terms of one-upping, what's including this, right? We get 2 foil or borderless rares or majestics, right? Change that out. You could have 1 rainbow foil, 1 cold foil, and they could be anything, right? You could get a common cold foil. Obviously, the rainbow foil could be majestic or legendary guaranteed. Okay, so you can still have the variation. You don't have to give people specific cards. Okay, but then you could also have a core set of cards like the land cycle or anything like that, and the tokens that directly target or show off a new event. Okay, if people want to open and chase for X cards, they can. They can chase for those high-end cards similar to this. Or if they just want to get a little boost to their favorite hero. Or, again, they want to use it in tandem with the Blitz decks. Right? Grab a Blitz decks, and new players. Grab a Blitz decks, grab a VIP box. Don't price it as a VIP box, right? Just price it as a little booster box. Something like that. And it would work wonders. Okay? It'd be an easy way to onboard people to have also the ability to turn any Blitz deck into a classic constructed without the toll of buying a whole box and sifting through a whole box. Right? If these little bundles were, say, $30 to $40, half a booster box, right? Still expensive when you compare them to booster packs, but you could have a decent chunk of cards in them that really support things. Blightsteel Colossal. Has it been reprinted yet, or is it still decent? Again, land, beautiful, right? The foil and everything like that. You could have your stable cards for any of the heroes, and then, again, chase cards, exploration. That's not too great of a pool, right? But I think the Blightsteel Colossal is still decent. I definitely think we'll probably end up on top compared to the boxes, right? Because the boxes have gone up, but the cards not so much. Cards across MTG are kind of suffering. Is there anything else decent? I mean, I'll show everything off if you're interested. Again, I'm not big on MTG anymore, so meh. I'll probably just end up trading in these cards anyway. Right, so we'll leave the Blightsteel Colossal on top. But yeah, again, using this model, core cards, your chase cards, and then a little bit of variation. Right, you could almost go with, say, like a jumpstart sort of idea where you have a core theme, right? You might have Axe Dorinthia, where you get an axe and you get cards that play around using a two-handed axe. And contrary to that, that's what I'm trying to say, you could then have a sword Dorinthia, right? You get the sword weapon, and then you could have cards that work around using a sword. Stuff like that. These little supplemental sets that have some sort of guaranteed nature to them. Okay, because that's another thing that really needs to happen in Flesh and Blood. Given its model, given its card set and everything like that, we need more set things. Okay, we need a high power of Blitz decks, high power of classic constructed decks, and again, more products like this could fill in those gaps and allow booster boxes to still be booster boxes. Okay, because we are dwindling the amount of people who sit through and sift through and open all these packs looking for the cards they want, with the growing rationale that, well, I could easily just wait a month, buy all the singles I could possibly want off the secondary market, and never really have to touch a box. Especially if it is not draftable, which it is. Right, see my other video? It's draftable. That was the wrong section. It's alright. They go there, they go there, they go there. Okay, so, yeah. Learn from the mistakes of other companies. That's a big thing that we're going to address to this, because I want to open a bunch of products across the board, right? Not just from MTG. We'll probably only do one set of products per thing. So this is obviously MTG. We'll do Yu-Gi-Oh! We'll do Pokemon. We'll touch on One Piece, and we'll just compare these sort of business models a little bit, the product design, and how Flesh and Blood could, in all honesty, capitalize off of everyone else. Because there's no harm in doing that. Right? Look at MetaZoo. MetaZoo is probably the prime example. How Mike, right, think whatever you want of the game, right? He is a savvy businessman, right? He went nuts expanding MetaZoo to the point where a lot of people hate it, but he knew his audience. His audience is younger. His audience like loot boxes, right? They like all this other filler type of stuff. Okay? Flesh and Blood doesn't have to go that crazy with it, but there is still a utility, there's still a possible purpose of these alternative products, especially, again, when releases are so far apart, when eventually the hype of X set is going to not compare to its actual release, right? Dusk Till Dawn had a lot riding on it, and I think a lot of us got burnt out quickly from it. Well, I should say, will get burnt out from it quickly, right? Because I'm not pushed out. I'm still searching for everything, still somewhat enjoying it. Again, that pile aside, I mean, I might as well just buy a shredder and just chuck them in as I go, right? They are just garbage, right? For the company that was boasting how, oh, extended art too. Well, there you go. Flesh and Blood wins easily. I guarantee it. Right, against the Blightsteel Colossus, the extended art diadem definitely wins. But yeah, eco-friendly packs, right, was such a big thing. And look at this. How many trees, right? Oh, you want to see Flesh and Blood in a landfill? It will come. It'll come a day where all the common cards, all the bulk will just be in a landfill. Right? Supplemental sets, by and large, come down. Less cards, right? If you're not going to go on the draftable aspect, don't even come close to it. Okay? Again, we went over, it's doable. You can draft Dusk Till Dawn, but if you don't want to be draftable, again, don't come anywhere near it. Get rid of all that. That garbage can just go away. Give me a 100 card, 150 card set. Cut out all the bulk, all the garbage that no one's interested in. Perfect supplemental set done. Keep the main sets as what they are. That's fine. They work. And then come out with these alternative products. Right? Capitalize on the anger, on the frustration of these other card games, like you did in the early days, right? A lot of the Flesh and Blood cohort came from the disgust towards MTG, right? So you could easily capitalize on that through these other products. Commander Masters is priced the same as Double Masters, right? And it has a lot of garbage in it. Again, there are some fancy things. There are some really redundant, multiple variant art garbage, right? I think Flesh and Blood is in the sweet spot too in terms of art, right? We have extended arts, we have cold foil, we have rainbow foil. Nothing else. Never give me anything else, please. Just keep it. Those, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, you know, would like even less, right, to actually make foils. But I mean, look at this. Yes, there's other cards in here, but these are all the foils. Finding a foil majestic, finding even a full set of foil rares is a lot harder than what people think. Is a lot harder than what they are priced for, right? Altogether, the way that pricing is divided between cards in Flesh and Blood is really weird to me, okay? Because again, it is so heavily skewed towards playable. But you can then again capitalize and you can affect that market and you can sort of steer it in directions you would rather through those alternative products, right? Yes, people love playable cards. I think by and large, Flesh and Blood is growing to become the one game that really embodies that mentality where we have a bunch of cards that are cheap, accessible, and playable, and then we still have a few high-end cards that chase. Granted, they're not as high-end as what I personally would like, but they are still, you know, somewhat of a chase. And again, you can shore this up with those other products. If you have a core set of cards in like a VIP product that produces and offers a X amount of set cards for set heroes, right, to really expand play, then you can, again, you can not necessarily nuke, but you can keep the accessible cards in check. And you can still have the luxury and the chase of these high-end cards. Right, I think the other sort of like talking point is whether or not we go with a normal version of these cards. But I do like what they're doing. So the Crown of Providence, for instance. Okay, we get the normal version in Dusk Till Dawn. Okay, they understand that it was necessary, so they give us the normal version printed. And to have that option for every legendary is a good thing to have in their back pocket. I don't think it's something that needs to be addressed in future sets straight away, right? To have 3 versions, have 5 or 4 essentially, right? Have normal, have rainbow foil, cold foil, and have extended art of either rainbow foil or cold foil. I don't think that's necessary. I think stick with the cold foil, rainbow foil, extended art, cold foil, and then eventually, if it is really necessary for playing, they can reprint that normal version. I think the normal version should have been a lot more apparent. So the Crown of Providence, I'm pretty sure, is 1 copy to 2 copies of every other legendary, quote unquote, because of the variations, right? It should have been printed more. It should have been printed to the same extent of both cold foil and rainbow foil, and it should have had its pull rate sort of outside of those two, right? It should have been a lot common. I know certain cards do have their own pull rates outside of the advertised. The advertised kind of just averages. But I think in terms of that mentality of keeping the legendaries in checks is going to work in the long run, right? We're seeing it work. So I don't think that needs change. But it doesn't mean you can't handle other cards, or you can't handle support, or you can't even just offer alternatives to play. right? So during the year, with Dusk Till Dawn, where we're seeing the Axe Plane come out, all because one card was printed. So imagine if certain niche segments of each hero saw support through, again, a VIP style product. What that could do. It could work wonders, could it not? Almost done. We have 3 packs left. I don't think we're going to get anything that pops out. Given the time, right, we'll probably leave off the Double Masters. Do I want to open it? I've kind of said everything I really want to say just off the VIP box, to be honest. I mean, doing 4 packs of the Double Masters isn't going to be a huge thing. Again, this isn't really to, again, compare prices or show off MTG or just open. It is to just have a little fun, have a little discussion, and yeah, see what we could hope for in the future when it comes to products. Because I do think we will see something. Maybe not this year, probably next year, but we will see an expanded selection. Because there will be someone telling James White, you're not growing as a company. Okay? If Dusk Till Dawn, the print size is 288 or 250 to 300, which is what a lot of us are speculating. That means there's been no growth, right? We're almost back to the level of how much they put in for Everfest, Monarch, and Dusk Till Dawn, Monarch, Tales. There we go. But we're not seeing any growth, right? This quarter, they've produced and manufactured as much product as they have previously. They've put up prices in the view of inflation or anything like that, but not to the extent where they are making more money. So altogether, right, I can't see the company growing as it is yet, unless they come out with those products, and there will be someone, again, saying to James White, look, we need to expand our marketable assets, okay? We need to be able to tap into the player base more than what we are, because we're not capturing that. We see 18,000 people turn out for the pre-release. Of that, hardly any then go on to buy boxes. Okay, they're here for the event, they're here for the company. All right, the playing side of Flesh and Blood is doing fantastic, but I can't see this growing equivalently. Right, it just does not capture the same extent as the competitive side of Flesh and Blood, as the secondary market of Flesh and Blood. Because again, 4 heroes in Dusk Till Dawn, they're the ones really being supported. And when I say supported, there's fringe cards that you want. The Majestics, yeah, great. The equipment, great. Some of the rares, great. All this, no. Anyway, we'll leave it there for MTG. I don't know. I'll deliberate on the Double Masters. I might just chuck it back in my box and stick it in a closet. And then we'll move on to the next game. Probably something smaller, so I don't have to open so many packs. Ooh, the Pokemon. Pokemon has me worried. Right, so I want to open Evolving Skies, because that's only really the set that has some cards I actually want to chase. And equivalent would be 112 packs of Dusk Till Dawn. I mean, they have to get opened at some point, but it's going to be a long video. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See ya.